G'day, g'day. 3 times in one day. Aren't you lucky? Okay, so this morning I was on in my garden and letting you all know about the second bowl blade offer with purchase of a TM6. I'm not going to mention any more about that today. Then I came on at lunchtime and I made my chicken horses duvers. So they are, try and remember to pop the link in the comments, and they've been around. This recipe's been around for absolute years, so I'm not real good at doing them perfect size, but I just filled that container with little chicken meatballs. I swapped the feta for bacon just because that's what I like to do, swap things around. And then I made 2 little burger patties for hubby, so they basically, because they wouldn't fit in there, so I suppose I'm very good. I'm leaving him something to eat while I'm away. So I just wanted to show you those. And the other thing I made was a dip. So it's based off the sun-dried tomato dip, and I use sunflower seeds and pumpkin seeds and no sun-dried tomatoes. Anyway, you know how I roll, like to mix it up a little bit. So I'll just pop those back in the fridge. And then I'm going to make some new crackers. Yes, I know, I'm crackers. So if you've been following me for a while, welcome back. And if you're new to my page, go back through the videos and look out for my crackers, because I do like making my own crackers. And this is a new recipe I've never done before. Oh. Okay, I've actually got it bookmarked because my Thermomix turned off. So it was a recipe with, what's it called? It's called chia and quinoa tortillas with a trio of dips. So there was an artichoke dip, the sun-dried tomato dip, and a pumpkin dip. So make your own collection of dips, okay? Because there are so many out there that you can make up yourself. Okay, so I'm just going to come into my recipe details to have a little look at where I'm at. Okay, so we're actually at the first one. So I do have the oven on, so I'm just going to come straight to the quinoa. So just white quinoa, and we want 50 grams. So what we're going to be doing here, we're going to, the royal we, I am going to be making a quinoa flour. So if you have made these before, please give me a hands up or tell me, are they any good or not? Because I don't know, I've never made them, but they just sort of caught my fancy. Okay, so 50 grams. And oh look, look at that, spot on. And the next thing is, it says white chia seeds, but I've got a mix of black and white, so I'm not racist. Okay, so yeah, 50 grams of black and white. I don't know. Who knows what the difference is? Is it just the colour that's different? Is there a taste difference? I really don't know. So, oh, look at that. Oh, perfect. Insert the measuring cup. So this is where we're going to make our flour and lock our lid on. Oh, 3 seconds to go. I'm sure that's not going to make much difference. So before I was mentioning in my previous video that I didn't have all the ingredients. So that's my quinoa and chia flour. Now, I suspect these are going to turn out really well because the chia is gelatinous and it actually helps to bind them together, because there's no eggs or anything like that in this recipe. It asks for 50 grams of polenta. I don't have polenta, but what I do have is just my own cracker mix. So because I make lots of crackers, I have this mix which has, the big base of it is chickpea flour. So I don't know, if they don't work out, I can blame this, not the recipe, right? So I'm going to add, and I'll have to go back through my lives to find what's in this because I made it so long ago that I really it's really yummy. It's got really nice spices in there as well. Okay, 50 grams. Oh, that might nearly use all of that up. Perfect. And some sesame seeds. You know what? Oh no, I better not. I've never made the recipe before. 2 tablespoons. So 1, 2. That's 2 tablespoons, isn't it? So you might notice if you've been following me for a while, I don't use measuring spoons. I use a teaspoon from the drawer, a tablespoon from the drawer. I very rarely use a normal tablespoon, and often I can weigh it. So a pinch of salt. So this is my homemade salt. It's just the Maldon Maldon flakes with some kombu and some sea vegetables which have got iodine in them. So I just like that little mix. Oh, lemon juice. I think I put my, lime juice. I put my limes away before, but here we go. And again, I'm not going to get a teaspoon out. So who out there is the sort of person that follows everything exactly and will get a measuring spoon out to measure 2 teaspoons of juice? Not me. I think that only looked like it was about 1, so that's another one. There you go, that finished off my limes. Oh, it says about half a lime. There you go. And 60 grams of water. Oh, a little bit more there. Insert the measuring cup. Isn't it fun doing a new recipe for the first time? Oops. Speed 6. Looks all right. I can usually tell. Might be a little bit dry, and that could possibly be, and this is where you can still use your own skills. You know, some people say that using a Thermomix isn't cooking. I obviously beg to differ, because you still have to use your own intuition. So to me, that looks a little bit dry. And the last lot of crackers I made, which were the sourdough, no, they weren't the sourdough discard, they were the rye flour crackers. They had no oil in them. Now, I think that's a fault with this recipe. Just looking at that, it's really quite dry. And I'm sure that when I roll that out, those crackers aren't going to stick together. Number one, there's either not enough water, or there's absolutely no oil. I'm actually going to add a little bit of oil to this because I think it needs it. So I could put a bit of extra water, but I think oil is the go. And I say I did use my own cracker mix instead of polenta, and I don't think that would have made that much difference. But hey, correct me if I'm wrong. All right, so let me put, well, I probably should have weighed that, shouldn't I? Ooh, probably. So really, I only had 60 grams of water and a little bit of lime juice. So let me see now. Hey, did you notice anything different about me since you saw me a couple of hours ago? The joys of being a hairdresser. You can just go and colour your hair in between doing cooking experiences. I felt I was a little bit too blonde, so I just put a little bit of a pinky colour through, so just for fun. So fun. Let me see how that feels. I'm going to just put a little bit out, and this is how I do my crackers. Oh, yep. That actually doesn't feel too bad. So I would suspect that I probably put in about maybe 20 grams of oil. So that wasn't an awful lot. I'm just going to do this tiny little bit just to see how it goes. So, yeah, no, I don't think it's got enough liquid in there. So now, did you know that if you do a cookie dough recipe and it isn't what you think it should be, you can actually write to cookiedough.com.au and just give them your feedback and say, this recipe's missing something. And I think that's what I will be doing, because it just seems, see how it's cracking up there? It just seems to me that something is missing. So maybe that's not too bad. So have you seen, can you see? Oh, I'm not sure if you can see. Actually, let me come back a bit. When I'm doing my crackers, see how I've got two lovely straight edges? That's just by folding it over. So if you want to level out and get a nice straight edge, just fold over. Obviously, I'm not using baking paper, but you can use baking paper, and just use your rolling pin to flatten that out, just like that. Now, they don't need a rolling pin per se, as far as like a pastry, but actually this is actually coming together a little bit better, but I'll just see how that goes. And then I can use my cookie cutter. I don't know if these are back in the mix shop. Maybe I shouldn't show this because I know people get very jealous when they see that. So the cookie cutter just scores the crackers just like that. Pop them in the oven. Once they're cooked, I'm going to do a test run with this one, and I'll come back and give you my feedback to see whether they cook okay, if they're too dry, if they need a little bit more oil or a little bit more water. But I'll give them a go. So that's quick crackers. Anyway, I may or may not be on tomorrow because I'm heading away, as I've mentioned several times. Do I sound like I'm a bit excited? So yeah, I may make a cocktail tomorrow afternoon, so and have some cracker and dip and my little horses duvers. Anyway, have a great afternoon, and I'm sure I'll see you sometime in the next couple of days. See ya. Any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out and ask, okay? Bye.